What is going on, everyone? Ted Carr here, and today I want to talk about something that is plaguing a lot of people, and that is chronic stress. There's a lot of people out there, I'm sure you know some, or a lot, or maybe you're one of them, people who are chronically stressed. They're like just always like pent up and worried and feeling anxious and feeling fearful and just like can't seem to just calm down or relax and stay that way for days, weeks, months at a time. They always seem to get triggered by thoughts or things around them. So in this video, I want to just share with you 5 really effective ways of eliminating stress once and for all from your life. Excuse me. So first one is the most important one. And with this first one, the rest of the other four tips I'm going to give you, and any tip for the rest of your life that you're going to get about dealing with stress, is actually going to be useful to you. But if you don't implement this first one, the rest of them, they're not going to do much for you at all. Okay? Or if they do something, they're not going to be sustained, because this first one is the foundational piece. So here it is. Number one most effective way of completely eliminating stress, or at least significantly reducing it for the rest of your entire life, which is probably something that you want, the way to do it is to change, is to alter, is to shift your self-image from that of identifying with someone who gets stressed out easily, shifting it to someone who doesn't get stressed easily, someone who is calm, someone who is peaceful, someone who is relaxed. Just changing the way you see yourself is going to allow you to then just start acting that way. And I'll give you a great example. When I was younger, I was at my aunt and uncle's house, and I didn't know the difference between stress and calm and anything like that. I was just too young. But one day I was sitting at my aunt and uncle's house, and my aunt looks at me from across the room. I'm in the living room, she's in the kitchen, and she says to me, "Wow, Ted, you know what? You're really peaceful." And I was like, okay, cool. I adopted that identity right then and there. I was too young to question it. From that day on, I went through my life believing that I was a very peaceful person. Then I started to note the difference between being peaceful and being stressed. And I started to see other people who were stressed, and I started to notice that they would associate with being stressed. See, oh, that person, she's always stressed, or oh, wow, so-and-so, he's stressed. And I'm like, oh, well, that's unfortunate for them because I'm just a peaceful person. It's just a part of my identity. And so this identity can be taken on either unconsciously at a young age, or it can be taken on deliberately and intentionally. But it needs to be taken on. Doesn't matter how it's taken on. Okay, and let's say it's taken on intentionally. For the purpose of this video, there's two ways of taking that identity on intentionally. Number one is to take it on through repetition. Repetition. And this is where the power of affirmations come in. This is where the power of having a vision board comes in. This is where the power of having a coach comes in and a mentor comes in. With these tools, you can repeatedly instill in your mind, in your thoughts, that you are a peaceful person. Okay, the second way of doing it, though, intentionally, is through emotion. Through a lot of emotion. And like having a really strong emotional experience with being peaceful. And for a lot of people, this is a bit harder to do because it's pretty intense. But that can also break through the subconscious barrier and implant itself. But it requires an emotional impact, and usually it helps to have someone of like an authoritative figure who creates that emotional impact with you or for you. So let's say that now you are on the path to adopting a self-image of someone who is peaceful, someone who is calm. Cool, now you can implement the next 4 strategies I'm going to give you right here. Number one. And these all come, I'm not making this shit up, by the way, these all come from pure observation and experience. Okay? You're not going to find someone who's stressed out on a regular basis who does these 4 things and who has that self-image. Thing number 1, vigorous exercise. Vigorous exercise. Vigorous exercise means getting the heart rate up, getting the lungs pumping, getting the blood moving. Vigorous exercise. Okay? For sustained periods. I'm not going to give you a set framework or say you got to do 20 minutes of this or 20 minutes of that or 10 minutes of this or an hour of this. No, you gotta go figure out what that means to you. But you gotta make it your own. Okay, vigorous exercise. Personally, what works really well for me is working out every other day, and then on my rest days like today, I go for a nice big walk, either on the treadmill or out in nature, or ideally both. Today I did both. But at least hitting 10,000 steps or more. Minimum 10,000 steps. Okay, so that's number 1. Exercise. Exercise is proven time and time again through so many studies to completely annihilate, completely obliterate, completely bulldoze stress. Because it releases hormones, it releases chemicals in our body that make it nearly impossible to experience stress. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is eating clean. And again, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to eat. You got to go do your own research and find out what eating clean means to you. But if I eat a really dirty meal, which I don't do, but I used to do, that would instantly stress me out. Like, gluten is a stressor. If you're eating gluten in any amount, you can feel really stressed out. There's people who are legit diagnosed with bipolar. They cut out gluten, bipolar is gone. Their emotions are just so much more calm. Gluten is a huge trigger food. Dairy is another one. Just from cutting out dairy, your life's gonna be so much better. Your mood's gonna be so much better. So no more dairy, no more gluten. That is considered pretty clean. Obviously, cutting out, people say processed foods, what does that actually mean? Nothing deep fried as well. Cut out the deep fried crap. Okay, so if you cut out deep fried foods, cut out dairy, cut out gluten, you're gonna be very, very well off. Eating clean allows you to reduce your stress significantly. In fact, it's the reason why I stayed raw vegan for so long. I went raw vegan initially to clear my acne, but I stayed raw vegan because my moods were way too good. I used to get pissed off and frustrated with little things. But once I was on a raw vegan diet, I felt so connected to nature because I was eating all natural foods. I felt amazing. Okay, so the 3rd tip is meditation. 3rd tip is meditation. Meditation does not need to be difficult. In fact, it shouldn't be difficult at all. It should be very easy. It should be very effortless. You want to make it as effortless as possible. That's the goal. Learn how to sit with your eyes closed as effortlessly as possible. All I do when I meditate is I close my eyes. I have a timer set for 10, 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. I do a 45-minute one every Saturday. And then I do a 10 or 20-minute one every day. And all I'm doing is closing my eyes and I'm putting my attention on my breath. And I'm noticing the air come in and out through my nose. In and out through my nose. That's all I do. I just focus on that. And yes, every single time my mind wanders. Every single time I start thinking about stuff. Every single time I start playing scenarios out in my head. And I just bring it back to the breath. Bring my attention back to the breath, back to the breath, back to the breath. You don't even call it meditation. Just call it back to the breath. And literally sit there, eyes closed, bring your attention back to the breath, back to the breath, back to the breath, back to the breath, back to the breath. It helps if you can count your breaths up to 10 and then restart, but do as you wish. Just put your attention on your breath. Use an app if you want. Just meditate. It's good. So many studies have proven that it's basically impossible to feel stressed out after you meditate, or even during meditation. Like you're going to be good. It changes your hormones, changes your hormonal balance in your body. Proven. And the 4th and final tip is to do breath work. Just like meditation, it's impossible to experience stress when you're doing breath work. You just can't. The breath work puts your body in like this survival state, and it's just like when you're done, you're just so grateful to be alive. Okay, so any sort of breath work you want to do, go on YouTube, type in breathwork exercises for stress reduction. You'll find a ton. All right, a couple bonus tips for reducing stress on a regular basis. Things that really help lower stress is number one, taking ice cold showers or jumping in an ice cold lake. That is just guaranteed to make you feel way better. Like every single time, like, and instantly too. That's the fastest working one I found. Faster than exercise, faster than meditation, faster than breath work. Just cold showers, bam. And the second one is to, second bonus one, I actually got 3 bonus ones. The second bonus one is to get enough sleep. People who don't get enough sleep, instantly stressed, can't do much about it. You can't breath work your way out of not sleeping. You can't eat clean out of not sleeping. You can't exercise your way out of not sleeping. You have to sleep. Okay, so sleep. Get to bed at the same time every night, same time every morning, ideally about 8 hours. And the fourth and final one, battery's about to run out here, or tape is about to run out of storage. Take some ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is proven for lowering stress. I'll post a link for some ashwagandha in the description. Peace out, much love, have a great day. Adios.